Hello everyone, this is Team CodeAstra and I'm very excited to showcase you a very exciting project which is SoulBuddy, a AI-driven platform for showcasing daily horoscopes and your astrology-based queries and answers. So here's our first flow, which is memory chatbot, which basically uh, takes users questions on regarding their horoscopes and astrology and gives an output which is based on previous memory event. So here's the flow. Firstly, the chat input takes user's query, which is passed through the LLM, which in our case is Grok, and this LLM extracts previous chat memory, and based on the previous chat memory, it is passed to a prompt which generates a result which is further displayed through chat output. Now I'll move to another section which is Lal Kitab. So here there's a very amazing book on astrology which is named as Lal Kitab, and it is used very extensively for finding out remedies for very major problems. Basically, very easy remedies, easy to do in daily day-to-day life for problems which are considered very major in astrology. So here we move on to our next part, which is Lal Kitab. So I'll give you a brief introduction to Lal Kitab. Lal Kitab is a very prominent book in astrology, which basically gives a very easy to do solutions and remedies for very major problems which are mentioned in astrology. And for here I'll now explain you the flow. Firstly, the user puts in an input, and as the user puts in an input, the first thing which will happen is that we have passed in the Lal Kitab book in a JSON file, which is then further passed into the split text component, which further splits its text in chunk sizes of 1000, which is then registered in this data stacks Astra DB and passed on to Google Generative LLM, which embeds the code, embeds the data, and from there on, this chat query is taken in Astra DB, and based on the embedded data, the and the search result from the user's query, we pass the data, and the passed data is passed on to the prompt, and the prompt based on the user's query and Lal Kitab's data generates an output after passing on through generative LLM, which in this case is Grok. Now I'll move on to uh, gem recommendation system, which is again quite similar to Lalgidab system. Again, the user gives in a chat input, and based on the chat input, the first thing which happens here is a file, and this is which is further passed on to the split text component, and from there on passed to data stack SDB, and which is embedded in Google Generative AI. And now the chat input is taken and registered in data structure DB, and on the basis of the search result and the search input, it is passed. But after being passed, it is passed on to a prompt which analyzes the user's query and the keep feeder data in our components, and from then on it is passed to generative LLM, which in this case is again clocked and output is generated. Thank you.